Breaking news on the global side of the game. Big dubs in chat. We have update 5.18.0 coming to the global side of the game. Let's go. That means super EZAs are coming to the global side of the game at the same time as JP. This effectively means that Saiyan Day 2024 will have super EZAs for both versions of the game at the same time. This is a massive W, and frankly, something that we should have expected, given that full synchro is just a couple of months away at this point. Worldwide download 2024 starts in September, so that's basically in 6 months. So within 6 months, we should be fully caught up with JP. This is one of those moments where it makes a lot of sense for global to be catching up. I talked about this in previous videos, and alas, it has come to fruition. So we're just going to be quickly going over some of the same details that we talked about on the JP video. For one thing, it is not going to be happening during our current Dokkan Festival. It's going to be happening during Saiyan Day. This was one question that we had before, but after the data download on the JP side of the game, and we saw that there was nothing in there for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, we learned that it is going to be happening in March in their text, but it wasn't going to be happening during their current celebration. Right now on JP, they are going through the Frieza Dokkan Festival, where our global Gohan Piccolo is. And that Frieza Dokkan Festival is, this is the image. This is going to be dropping for JP probably around here, but this is what they're going through. So people thought that it would happen during that celebration, but it's not. So it's going to be happening during Saiyan Day. I talked about this in my previous video. Does this mean that this is going to potentially influence what the Saiyan Day celebration is going to be about? I would personally say no, simply because while it does make sense for the Saiyan Day celebration to be a Super Saiyan 3 one, that would be cool. It would make a lot of sense. It would justify the Super EZA. I think that it is a dangerous precedent simply because we know for a fact Super EZAs are going to be happening in sequential order, which means after Super Saiyan 3 Goku's Super EZA, the next one on the docket is going to be the STR Broly. The STR Broly then effectively just gives away the next celebration. At this point, we just know what the celebrations are going to be. The next one would be Broly. After that, the next one would be Broly, I guess, but this is like the good guy version. Then the next one would be a Namek Saga. I mean, I guess it could work, but it is just kind of, it would be weird to say that we now have our entire celebration roadmap just planned out for us because everything here is ordered the way that it is. So I don't know. I just personally feel like it shouldn't be that way. Dokkan typically doesn't adhere to any sort of pattern or schedule sometimes for this sort of thing. So why start now? So that's kind of why I just think that putting it in as a supplement to another celebration is a better approach, which is why I'm still sticking to my theory of Broly, celebrating the movie of Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, Z Broly. Just throwing that in, I think that would be fine. Think of it like a burst mode, you know? And if you want to have like some of the events sort of correlate to it, that could work too. But again, we'll find out very, very soon because we are literally 1 week away from Saiyan Day. So any minute now, we could be getting news, we could be getting hints, we could be getting anything regarding the upcoming celebration. So we'll find out. So the best thing about all of this is that global is getting it. Looking through the fine print, nothing changed. I looked at the super attack. The super attack is exactly the same. Not that it could change because the super attack level is at 1 out of 15. So even if it were to change, you couldn't tell until it hit the max. But we will find out when we get the data download, which will be happening on global on March 14th. So in a couple of days at reset, which is 5 p.m. for me now. So thank you, stupid daylight savings, for pushing everything back an hour. This is going to be down for 9 hours. After 9 hours, we will probably know what Saiyan Day is going to include. I don't know if we're going to know for sure what Saiyan Day is necessarily, because I don't remember if we actually got Saiyan Day assets this early. I think that typically happens on the day of the reveal. I don't remember. But as far as the Super Easy is concerned, we could be finding out around then. So that's probably why this is going to be a longer maintenance, just because this is not only the usual like asset allocation and whatnot, but it's also including a brand new update that's never before happened on global. So we'll have to wait and see for that. As far as what this is going to mean for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, well, I will be doing a showcase for this unit pre and post EZA, both. I want to see what this bad boy can do when he hits that Super EZA. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss that. But also, I want to take this unit out for a test drive pre-ZA. One of the most ancient units of all time. I was never around during the first 3 years of Dokkan, so I really just don't know what this unit was all about back in the day. So if you guys have any ideas for what sort of teams to put together with this unit, share them in the comments. If you have any cool ideas for a team composition and then an event that sort of simulates the year 1, year 2, year 3 experience, I would love to try that out, because I think that that would be a fun way to kind of revisit the history of Dokkan as we ingratiate these older units into the new meta. One thing we know, and we've talked about this before, passives alone are going to be updated. Not the super attack, not the leader skill. The passive is going to be updated. This is a start, because I think that this is understandably how they should go about this. It doesn't require as big of an overhaul of the unit. Also, the passive is essentially what defines the character. You could have an abysmal super attack, but if the passive is really broken, nobody cares about the super attack at that point. It's the passive that charges the unit. So let's just say, you know, this is causes immense damage, greatly lowers defense. Great, that's so lame. But what if you tack that onto a build that has attack and defense plus 200%, right, at the start of the turn? And then we'll say like attack and defense, no, launches 3 additional attacks, each of which has a great chance to become a super attack. That's your typical, you know, Dokkan passive, right? Throw that on there, and then attack and defense plus 159% with each super attack performed. That right there makes this insane, right? So all that matters is the passive. So sit tight. Don't panic if you're concerned about the passive not, or the super attack not being updated. It's all about this. We'll have to wait and see what that looks like. And there's one more thing that I want to talk about here, and that has to do with a recent tweet by one of our data miners, Rick. So it was actually from this tweet that I responded saying that while it is understandable to maybe be skeptical on the notion of update 5.18.0 dropping on global as soon as it could, the simple fact of the matter is global has to give at some point in order for the full synchro to take place. We are 6 months away from full synchro if Dokkan is to not be a liar. They said around summertime. At the end of worldwide download, summer is over. So if it doesn't happen by here, they're liars. So if this is going to be the deadline, they have to clear all of the remaining hurdles by a 6-month time period, which means global has to do something unusual. Global cannot possibly catch up to JP unless they jump ahead in stride. So this is one of those opportunities for them to do that, which is why February 29th, we had update 5.17, and now we are getting update 5.18.0. Looking at the diagram that they did on the JP side, global should be getting this, honestly, because this is a very important roadmap that not just talks about the future of Dokkan, but specifics as far as what mechanics, what things are going to be changed. So now that global and JP are getting this at the same time, it is a reasonable estimation to think that this could also be happening either during Sand Day or perhaps afterwards, perhaps maybe going into Golden Week. Golden Week is going to be the next celebration after Sand Day that is joint with Global. So this is how it plays out. Sand Day is joint. Global and JP go their separate ways. Global will have Super Saiyan 3 Hirudegarn. We don't know what the part 2 is going to look like yet. That is a great opportunity for Global to catch up. Then we come back to Golden Week. So it is Sand Day, blank, then Golden Week. For Golden Week, there could be even more updates that drop for JP that Global also get. And if we see in the diagram, since Golden Week happens at the end of April into May, it's essentially all of May. That would basically mean like half of this, which means some of whatever the hell this is. Enemy skill expansion. Damage skills, attack and defense change skills, more will be added one after the other. So we'll have to wait and see what that is, but that should be dropping on both versions as well as this. The quest mode overhaul, the Dokkan story UI update, a new chapter and all that stuff. Global, as far as quest is concerned, we're on chapter 33 or area 33. I don't know specifically where JP is. I would imagine they're not too far ahead, so I don't think it would be much of a stretch for Global to catch up to JP in terms of that. We got our Trunks and Broly. That was the main hurdle, which is why Trunks and Broly dropped so much faster on Global than it did on JP. I believe each installment of the Trunks and Broly was like 2 months apart or something like that. Global, it was essentially 1 month apart. So it was much faster. So we've pretty much caught up in regards to quest mode. So it seems like it's all coming into place slowly but surely. Lastly, I seriously dropped this. This is not anything concrete, so don't take this as absolute fact, but I did want to share this because I think this is interesting insight, whether it is true or not. But this is our local insider who, at this point, no longer retired. I will no longer say retired. That is unequivocally false. Hypothesis is not stupid. In fact, oh, this is Google Translate. In fact, 5.18.0 is rather well advanced overall from what I see. this is back when Rick was talking about how he theorized that maybe it could drop on global soon, maybe it couldn't, because it seems a little too soon. There is also a 5.19.0 in the works, and I have the impression that it will serve as a sync version. Nothing is certain. I can't get too far ahead. So based on this, it would appear that our inside source is inferring, based on the information that they have present, that there could be that final update, the Synchro version that could be happening. I don't think that necessarily fits my kind of headcanon for how this works, but it does kind of fall in line with some of the things that I was talking about. There are going to be a couple more updates. Either they all happen at once, according to this theory, or they happen in sequence. I think in sequence makes more sense because we still have one more opportunity for something like that to occur. And this is not filling out the rest of the diagram because this diagram spans all the way until the end of August, which is effectively worldwide download. So I still think that there's more ground to cover that can't all be done in one update, but again, time will tell. So that's pretty much all that we've got for this new update, but global players, we win. This is going to be another piece of content that could understandably help some of you guys skip the Sand Day celebration. I know that that's also been a very quiet conversation that some of you have had because of course 9-year anniversary is the end game right now, right? This is where you want to be. These are the most broken units in history. So while Sand Day will be cool, it's not going to be 9-year anniversary caliber. So whether or not this unit is going to be good, some of you are going to have to skip. This Super EZA is going to be a very useful vehicle to help you get by the celebration by having a nice updated unit that has been around since essentially the start of the game. And I think that this is going to be a nice precedent moving forward. This will be a great opportunity for people to help kind of practice that discipline of not engaging in the banners, but still enjoying some of the older EZAs that have come back in relevancy. A big W for global. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Super EZA announcement dropping on global. Did you think it was going to happen? Did you think that anything recently gave you the indication that it would or would not? Let me know if this changes your theories on what the Sand Day celebration is going to be. Let me know if there's anything that you agree or disagree with what I said in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let you know when I see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.